All right, we'll go ahead and get started since it's about a minute after, and as people continue to join in, I'll add them in. But thanks to both Ann Dietz and Kendra Ricks for joining us today. This is the third part of our intern informational series talking about the different opportunities that students have with Nebraska Corn and with our cooperators, and this one being with the National Corn Growers Association. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Kendra Rick, who will give a kind of a description about NCGA and what the interns can expect in the DC office, and then I'll turn it over to Ann Dietz, who will talk about what students can expect from the St. Louis office. So Kendra, whenever you're ready.
All right, great. Thank you, Curtis. So NCGA is the largest corn organization in the country. We represent about 40,000 dues-paying members and 300,000 corn growers nationwide. We have multiple programs and all sorts of things that you can get involved in, but in the DC office where the internship is, we focus solely on policy. So the internship here in the DC office is very much a lot of shadowing our lobbyists, which is great fun most of the time. It's an opportunity to spend some time getting to know DC, getting to know how the policy world really works, as much as we all would like to believe that it's as simple as Schoolhouse Rock. That's not really how it goes. So it's a great opportunity to really get your feet wet. We really try to make sure that you have an idea of how that works, and also to make sure you get a good idea of how the grassroots piece of our organization works. We're definitely a grassroots organization, and we are led by grower leaders. All of our policy comes from the grassroots level. So you get an opportunity to see how that policy is made in the summer, and also to see how a fly-in works. So you get to attend those meetings, you get to help us run those meetings and see what it looks like to have farmers come to DC and talk to their legislators. So that's the basics, Curtis.
I'll unmute myself quick. And Ann, you are going to share a PowerPoint, so I will go ahead and make you the host.
Sure.
All right.
Awesome. Let's hope I can share the right screen here. Let me know when you can see it there.
Looks good.
Perfect. Thank you. So Soil Health Partnership is a proud program of the National Corn Growers Association. We have been one of the programs since 2014, and we're based out of the St. Louis office, but much of our staff is spread out throughout all of the Midwest. So we work with all of our states individually, which is fantastic. It gets us boots on the ground to work one-on-one with the growers, which we love. So I've got a little PowerPoint just to show what we do, and I'll talk a little bit about what the internship kind of entails. Hopefully it'll let me click through the slides here. Let's see. There we go. So Soil Health Partnership is a program to promote the adoption of soil health practices for economic and environmental benefits. So one of the best things about this program is that we're farmer-led and farmer-focused, which means we get to work one-on-one with all the growers. Being a part of the National Corn Growers Association, it means we take all of the farmer input into what we're doing and making sure that we're providing value back to them, which is awesome. A lot of the other kind of soil health programs out there take either a very hardcore like research focus, or they're looking at it more from the environmental, and we want to make sure that we're helping farms succeed well into the future, and helping them do it in a way that works best for them. So we study different soil health factors across each of the fields. And so we've got a team that helps pull all the data from all of our sites, and really digs into what is occurring and what are the different practices that are helping each grower. And what we're finding is that it's very unique for each farm, which is awesome. But it means that there's no one-size-fits-all solution. So it's helping farmers find something that will work for them. So our farmers get to pick what type of trial that they would like. And so we have some that are very intensive strip trial sites, And we have some that are side-by-side sites that are not quite as intensive, but there's still a lot of work that gets done on them. And so the farmers get to pick what they want. And we have a team of field managers across the US who works one-on-one with them so that they're not doing it on their own. They have somebody to help them through it. And so this is kind of where we are throughout the whole country. So let's see. So this is kind of just shows some of the different things that we look at throughout the year. So we do a lot of soil sampling. In the spring, we do just kind of field checks throughout the year to see what's going on in the field. And in the summer, we do aerial imagery, which this year we're actually going to switch to satellite imagery for it, which we're excited for. And then we collect their yield data as well. So you get the full economic picture of what's going on. And it all just circles back around every year. And then as part of it, we really want farmers to be able to share what they're learning more broadly. So we have a very strong communications arm where we're doing blogs, we've got our newsletter that goes out to all of our growers, we've got webinar series, and we've got a podcast that goes out as well. So there's lots of stuff that's always going on the communication side. So that's what makes our program really rather fun, is there's a wide variety, which kind of takes me into a little bit of what the internship looks like with us. The intern is usually based out of the St. Louis office, and our goal for the internship is to really provide you with as diverse of experience as possible, because I know when I went through college, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do afterwards, so it was nice being able to see a whole variety of things to help pin down what I really liked. And so that's our goal for this, is to be able to provide that to you. So you'll have the chance to work with me on kind of the operations of how we run the program, with our science team on the data and analytics, with our communications team on social media posts, blog posts, and with our field team on anything from agronomy, of working directly with that farmer. And so you'll get a very wide experience with it. And also being in the St. Louis office, we recognize that all of our NCGA staff have really cool projects going on there too. So we want to make sure that you get plugged in with the staff and get to learn some of the other things that are going on. We've had some interns in the past who may be like livestock focused with their majors. And so we've plugged them into the teams that do some of the livestock outreach. And so that is our goal, is to really make this something that provides you with the learning and the growth to help you as you're deciding what you want to do with your career. So that's a little bit about kind of what to expect from the SHP side. So I'll hand it back to you, Curtis.
All right, very good. Let me see. There we go. Perfect. All right, so I think maybe what I'll do is, if any of our participants have questions, don't hesitate to just raise your hand or shout it out or leave it in the chat. But I'll ask both of you a few questions too, maybe some common questions that we get in our office. So when you're looking for interns, both in DC and St. Louis, what types of students are you looking for? Are you looking for any specific coursework that they would have taken, or are you pretty much open to any major, any type of program? Or are there any things that they can maybe work on, or maybe a course they can take to help prepare them?
So in DC, we're pretty open. I will say we're always very excited when we get somebody with some economics and an economic analysis background. I mean, we're a bunch of people who work in policy, and we might not be the best at math. So we depend really heavily on the folks in our St. Louis office who are better at those things. And it's always nice to have an intern who can help us analyze those things and who can make those connections. We also appreciate some policy experience, some understanding of political science and how it works, and how politics and policy work together. So.
Yeah, I would agree with Kendra on that. We really look for just a wide variety of different majors. We love when people come in with some type of data analysis or economics or statistics coursework, because our science team is always looking for more help to analyze the data that they have. People with agronomy interests are always needed out in the fields. Our field managers love being able to take people out on ride-alongs to show them what they're doing. So they're always looking for people just interested in that as a whole. I'll be honest, my degree's in German studies, so I'm looking for somebody who's really just a go-getter and wants to learn. We've had a lot of great interns with communications degrees that they're pursuing, and they have been great fits of just helping us get field days going in the summer, helping us get social media posts. So that's always something that we're looking for too.
So to provide a little bit of background, the Nebraska Corn Checkoff helps to fund these internships. So what Nebraska Corn will provide is a $6,000 stipend to both the NCGA office in DC as well as St. Louis, which will go towards a stipend to the student, which will help pay for food, lodging, those types of things. And then we will also pay for a round trip to and from your destination city. So usually our interns in DC will fly to DC, and so we will pay for a flight there and a flight back. And our interns in St. Louis have typically driven, but they have the option to do either one. Usually in St. Louis, you probably want to have your own vehicle if you're in St. Louis. It's not as difficult to get around as it might be in DC. If both of you could describe what life is like in St. Louis or DC for an intern that may be unfamiliar with both cities, and what interns have experienced in the past.
You want to start, Anne?
Sure, I'll start. So I'm a St. Louis transplant myself. We moved down here, it's probably 6 years ago now. So we really like to get our interns out to experience the city. I don't know if you guys know this, but we have a fantastic baseball team. So trying to get you guys out to a baseball game is always fun. And we also have a very awesome food scene. So food trucks are some of my favorites, so trying to do some of that. So there's a lot here to do, and there's a lot that people don't always realize that St. Louis has. So we have a fantastic science center, we've got a fantastic zoo, so there's lots to do here. As Curtis said, it's really pretty easy to get around, so it is nice to have a vehicle so you can get to some of the different areas around here to enjoy them. And there's also a lot of nature parks and just areas to explore as a whole. So a lot of our interns in the past have checked those out, have gone hiking. Some, like, there's rafting experiences that you can do, all kinds of stuff that you can do down here. So it's really pretty much just whatever you want to make of it, there's something here for you to do for that.
DC is a great city. I am also a transplant, but it's been more like 13 years. So I guess I'm basically a local now. It's a really fun city. We actually do encourage you to take a half a day every week. This is a John Doggett rule. They take half a day every week for this internship to go and explore the city, and whether that's a Smithsonian exhibit or if that's to go and explore one of the many parks or monuments or one of the copious numbers of free activities that happen over the course of the summer. We really encourage that. There's jazz in the garden at the Hirshhorn Museum. Obviously we have the monuments and we have the museums. It is very easy to get around via public transportation and Uber here. I wouldn't recommend a car for most folks. It's not worth it. Parking is always a problem. And the parking meter, the meter maids are just really mean. I don't know anybody with a car in this city who hasn't had multiple parking tickets, even when you think that you've read the signs well. So it is really easy to get around, though, on the metro and the buses. The one thing that I would suggest, and when you send us the name, Curtis, I always try to touch base and talk about neighborhoods where you should and should not live, things like that. So, but it's a great city. It's a really fun experience for a summer. And there are lots of interns here in the summer, so you'll make lots of friends really fast.
Well, and with both internships, my understanding is it's not basically just in the office all the time. It sounds like the interns are in the office part of the time, but then they're getting out and they're exploring and they're working on different projects all over the place. Is that accurate?
Yes. I think our intern this last summer was only in the office every other week with the whole quarantine. Typically, we like to get them out of the office for at least half the week to do ride-alongs with field managers, and we've sent them to conventions in the past, and to different events where you're meeting funders and other people to network with. So it is a lot of travel within the SHP St. Louis NCGA office internship. So you'll definitely be on your toes with a lot of moving around.
And you're in the office most days here in DC, but you're in and out, you're going to meetings, you're meeting new people, you're going to lunches. There's an intern network here actually within the ag world, and we make sure that you're involved in that. And they have bi-weekly lunches. So there's a lot of opportunities to get out and to meet people and to grow your network.
A question that I got is, what is the dress attire for both internship locations?
We are business professional in the DC office. We don't require a jacket every day, but I generally recommend that everybody have a jacket at the office in case you end up at a Hill meeting unexpectedly.
So for the St. Louis one, we have a dress for your day policy. So depending on who you're meeting with, you may want business attire for it. If you're going out into the fields with one of the field managers, you probably want your boots because you will get muddy.
Now, you both indicated that the intern may work with a variety of people, and we're hoping that this year turns out to be a normal-ish year with everything that's going on. But will both of you be kind of the primary contact person or supervisor in the corresponding offices?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Good. I don't think that I have any other questions. Is there anything that I'm missing in terms of an overall internship experience or what a student might ask?
I don't think so. I will say that they all have pretty big shoes to fill. You guys have always sent us really great interns.
Yes, we've had some fantastic interns. Nebraska knows how to pick them.
Well, great. Hopefully we can keep that tradition going. And again, applications are due November 6th. That is a Friday, I believe. You can find the application on our website at nebraskacorn.gov/internships. If you have any additional questions for Kendra or for Ann, don't hesitate to reach out to me. My contact information is on that website, and then I can follow up with both Kendra and Ann. Other than that, thanks to both of you for joining us today and answering all the questions that we have. And again, we'll share this video far and wide and hopefully get you both some great interns for this next year.